Welcome back. This is Category 5 Technology TV. Sasha, do you remember when we tried to pilot a new show called Try It, Buy It?
That was a fun one episode we did.
It was so much fun.
Depending on where you're located in this big old world of ours, you may remember it as either the Sega Mega Drive or the Sega Genesis. And now, more than a quarter of a century after its original release in Japan, it's more convenient than ever to take these classic Sega games with you. My review is coming right up, so stick around.
Try it, buy it.
And I brought it with me. This is the At Games Sega Genesis portable unit, and it's got the works.
It has tons of games.
Oh man, like if you want to play Sonic the Hedgehog, it's there. Can you all see that? Oh, Sega. Classic, right? So this is the portable that you reviewed. I had to bring it out because tonight is a little bit of a retro gaming throwback. And bear with me, I'll be a little while. One of the things that was really cool about this, though, this device is not only does it have a built-in screen, but it also has an adapter that you can plug into the jack, and now you can plug it into your standard old TV set.
Right, perfect.
With the RCA, right?
Right.
But no HDMI output, so it doesn't work on a modern TV unless it has AVN, which a lot of them do. So we were still pretty good to play this up on the big screen. I think you plugged it into your 60-inch TV at one point and tried it out. So did you know that the Raspberry Pi also supports this cable? So if you plug this into the headphone jack of the Raspberry Pi, it automatically detects it and senses it and says, oh, that's not headphones, that be an RCA cable. Let's switch over to AV mode. So now the Raspberry Pi works on a standard old-style CRT TV. Now that I bring to your attention because there is no more ultimate retro gaming experience than sticking it up on a 22-inch CRT TV.
Right.
You got to admit, that's retro, right?
That is retro.
What else would be super retro? Oh, I want to tell you all about it. I can't wait to show you the case that we're looking at tonight. But first of all, we took it to the next level on episode number 442 because we're so into retro gaming. And so we sat down and we built the first RetroPie that we had ever built.
It is lovely.
And it works great. And you're still using this.
I'm still using it.
You guys are still enjoying this, plugged in by HDMI on a 60-inch TV. Now, this is a Raspberry Pi 3. Now, I lied a little bit. This wasn't the first RetroPie we built because we tried it on a Raspberry Pi 2 first.
Right.
Then you bought the Raspberry Pi 3 for the upgrade, and it has run fantastically well. But there was one thing that didn't run well. Do you remember what that was? I'm throwing you back. I'm putting you on the spot here. There was a particular system that's built into the RetroPie, and I call it the RetroPie.
There were some games that didn't work.
And the N64.
Yes.
The Nintendo 64 was like...
Yes, it was choppy.
Couldn't do a thing.
Yeah, no.
So, unplayable, basically. What a RetroPie is, and you can go back to episode number 442 if you want a retro throwback. But what it is now, it's a distribution of Linux that goes onto the micro SD card on your Raspberry Pi microcomputer. So it's like this small. And you can put any number of game ROMs on there.
So many.
It supports like Nintendo Entertainment System, Sega Genesis, a.k.a. Master System. Atari 2600, 7800, Lynx. It's got everything. And then it does have the N64. It's got Sony PlayStation, the original, which does play very well, surprisingly. And all kinds of support. We're going to look at it in just a couple of minutes' time. One of the neat things about it, too, Sasha, if you want to hold up your controller, how do you control it?
I control it with this.
With a PS3 remote.
Yep.
Because the Raspberry Pi 3 has built-in Bluetooth. Right. So we're able to use that and sync it to the Raspberry Pi, and it becomes a controller for the RetroPie, is what it's called, because that's the distribution of Raspbian that we put on it. And it's got emulators out the wazoo and everything else. I use an Xbox controller. I don't know if is this an Xbox One or Xbox 360 controller? I don't know. I picked it up at a used game shop, and it is not Bluetooth, so I had to pick up this little guy here off of Amazon. It was like $14, $9, something like that. And it's just USB to a receiver for the Microsoft controllers.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah. So retro gaming it's funny that retro gaming has come so far in the past couple of years, because now RetroPie, the distro, has brought out version 4.4.
So what's new with 4.4?
Oh boy. Well, let's say what's new with the Raspberry Pi. Let's just say the B+. How's that? So the new Raspberry Pi 3 Model B+, came out, and it's 1.4 gigahertz processor. It's more powerful, it's faster, it runs cooler, and theoretically it should be able to run our emulators better than the original Raspberry Pi 3, which caps out at 1.2 gigahertz, and when it gets warm it clocks down to 900 megahertz. Like 0.9 gigahertz. So this one's a lot faster, the Raspberry Pi 3B+. So the 4.4 release of RetroPie introduces support for the Raspberry Pi 3B+.
Okay.
That's what we're excited about. Now, it also brought in, now, not the image. The image file can only be burnt to a Raspberry Pi card, so you can only boot it from a Raspberry Pi.
Right.
However, they've also put a lot of effort into creating scripts to allow you to install RetroPie on other platforms. So the Odroid XU4Q that I have is a super powerful 8-core SBC. It's available on that. It's available on the C1, C2, XU2, XU3, XU4. I don't know. It's like all the Odroids. But then the new version brings out the ASUS Tinkerboard support as well. So if you're a tinkerer, then there is rudimentary support for that now as well through the scripting of that. So performance is meant to be a lot better on the Raspberry Pi 3B+ now, because it's got a better processor. We're going to put that to the test tonight when we launch our Nintendo 64 stuff. Shall we look at how we obtain RetroPie?
We shall.
First of all, back it up a little bit. How to get a Raspberry Pi. Go to cat5.tv/pi. As I move this stuff around, I so badly want to show you what our RetroPie looks like.
There it is.
Let's just move that aside. We're going to take a look at that in just a couple of minutes' time. Okay, so I'm going to bring up RetroPie. Now, when we talk about Raspberry Pi, we're used to Pi.
Right.
But it's actually Pi. Like, they took it one step further and said, no, this is the edible. So let's bring it up on my screen. RetroPie, this is a weird one, .org.uk. Not .co.uk, .org.uk. That's going to bring you here. Tells you all about RetroPie. And again, so you buy the Raspberry Pi unit and put it together in whatever case you want. Make it, however you want. Tonight, we're taking it to the next level of retroness with a very retro case. But you don't have to do that. You can just use the stock case that comes with the kit if you like. But here, RetroPie is the distribution that we're going to use. So you don't, on a Raspberry Pi, you don't have to install Raspbian or Noobs and then install RetroPie. That's a real roundabout way to do it and can be quite onerous. So what you can do instead is just download the complete image. It's ready to go. It's ready to deploy. You just boot it up, and it's done. So that's what I'm going to show you tonight, real briefly. So you can see RetroPie version 4.4 was released April 14th, 2018, with all of the bonuses that we mentioned. And we've got support for the 0 and the 1, which, I don't know how the gaming would be on there. Maybe NES Classic would be fantastic, but certainly the Atari stuff. And then there's the supported the Raspberry Pi 2 and 3, which includes the B+. So when you click on that, it's going to download you an image.gz file. So if you're on Microsoft Windows, you're going to need a program called 7-zip in order to extract that file, because you need the image file. If you're on Linux or Mac OS, you're going to be able to extract that just by right-clicking on it and go extract here. Something like that. So once you've downloaded that, now here's where some folks actually, find this a little bit almost confusing because, how do I install this now? I've got my SD card and I've copied that image file onto it and I don't understand why it won't boot. And that's because you remember how we used to have to burn CDs?
Yes.
And when you burned a CD, then you could boot it, but you had to burn it using special software that would create the bootloaders and everything else. So same thing goes for your SD card. It's actually a very similar process, but we're going to use a program that is freely available, and all this stuff is free other than the hardware. But we're going to go to etcher.io, and when we go there, this is available on Windows, Mac, and Linux, and you're going to download this program and just follow the prompts. Nice and simple. There it is for Windows, Mac, and Linux. This is a great tool for burning your stuff. And I say burning, we still use that term, even though, and that comes from the laser that's etching into a CD, right?
There's no real burning.
You're not actually burning. But the term still exists, and it still applies. So what you do is you then browse to the image that you downloaded. This is a screenshot here. So with select image, you browse to the image. Then you plug in your SD card for your Raspberry Pi, and it will automatically select it. And then you hit flash. And just make sure that second step, that you have indeed selected the correct card. It's probably best, I always recommend, unplug all your USB flash drives and everything else before you do this, because you wouldn't want to accidentally overwrite the wrong thing.
Exactly. That way there's no messing around. You know exactly what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I would do the wrong thing first. So.
Not now.
Not now. This. Now I would do the right thing.
And I want to show you everything else that we've got to show you here. So that shows you a little bit about how to get this. That's RetroPie. Get 4.4 or higher. When we come back, I'm going to show you what I think is probably the ultimate retro geek case for the RetroPie system, because we got to totally retro it out.
Right.
Geek it out.
The suspense.
Oh, don't go anywhere.
Whether you shop on ThinkGeek, GearBest, B&H Photo Video, eBay, or Amazon, or even if you want a free trial of Audible, you'll find the best deals and support the shows we produce by simply visiting the shopping sites you already frequent by using the links on our website. Visit category5.tv/partners for the full and ever-growing list, and help us create more free content like this show. Thank you for shopping with our partners, and thank you for watching.
Welcome back. This is Category 5 Technology TV. Tonight is Retro Gaming Night, and that's because RetroPie 4.4 has been released with support for the Raspberry Pi 3 Model B+. Tonight we're going to put it to the test. We're going to fire it up live on the show, and the rest of the show is just going to be us playing Super Mario Bros.
Pretty
you know
much that's it.
Bros? Yep. So first of all, if you want to get yourself a really cool retro case for your RetroPie, head on over to cat5.tv/pi. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Okay, first of all, with my brand new Raspberry Pi 3B+, the first thing I want to do is I want to put some heat sinks on it. Now, these are available on Amazon. You can grab heat sinks. They probably, now in my case, they came with the kit that I bought from CanaKit. So cat5.tv/pi, you buy the kit, it comes with heat sinks. So I need to put on the CPU heat sink just to keep that nice and cool. That's going to dissipate the heat even better than the improved cooling kind of metal cover that's on the Raspberry Pi 3B+. And then there's one for this little chip over here. I don't know if that's the math coprocessor. I'm not sure what that is, but it's cute. And this will keep it cool because it does get hot. Real simple. They're stickers. You don't need any frosting or anything like that.
No expertise.
Yeah, just push down on it a little bit, give it a little bit of pressure. And now we are ready to install it in our new retro case. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is just the box. They went all out. And I would pay somebody, I would ask them, how can I send you money just to buy that box? And inside the box is really what it's all about, folks. And we talk about mini game systems like the mini, like the SNES Mini. And look at this, a Nintendo Entertainment System miniaturized. It's got USB and Ethernet there. It's got HDMI port on the back, the SD card. And there, incidentally, on the bottom here, where there normally was the GPIO or the connection, is a little storage case. They even got that detail to put your SD cards in. It's got 2 USB ports on the front and a working power button that operates just like the original NES. Like it holds in. It's not like just a momentary switch. It stays in. It came with a fan as well, a screwdriver, some screws, and just a quick little instruction set. We'll look at that if we need to. Okay, so we're going to actually put this together for you tonight. So let's get started. Cool. I guess the fan is just going to offset or draw some of the heat out of there, and there's some screws to mount that to the case. So what I like about this, if you notice the USB ports on the front and everything, and it actually has circuitry. Like it's not your typical Raspberry Pi case that you just stick the Pi in and then plug everything into the Pi. It has these connectors that plug into the Pi, and then it has its own headers that make it so that you're not restricted to the form factor of the Pi itself. So with my Raspberry Pi 3B Plus, I'm just going to insert that with the HDMI at the back, but first we'll connect in Ethernet, and that will make live the Ethernet port on the front of the what's called a NES Pi Case Plus. So this is the next generation of the NES Pi case, and this one is slightly larger than the original with better cooling and a little bit more airflow and certainly less cramped. And I think it looks more legitimately like a real Nintendo Entertainment System than the original case. So it just kind of goes in there. Just line up the headers at the back, because it is you're going to plug your HDMI directly into the Pi. And then we've just got a little pack of screws. Most of those, 6 of those, are for the case itself, because this is a case that we're going to assemble and leave assembled. It's not something you're going to be swapping your board in and out of. But then there are 2 screws to actually mount the Raspberry Pi board to this case. Now, keep in mind, this is compatible with B model boards, so you're looking at the Raspberry Pi 2, Raspberry Pi 3, Raspberry Pi 3 Model B+. So you can mount other system boards in here as well, and presumably future ready as well, as long as the form factor on the new Raspberry Pis stay the same. So with these 2 screws, it's just going to mount that in. See, and I have to make interesting, Sasha, putting in 2 screws. So, you know.
You're doing a great job.
Ah, thanks.
Tiny, tiny screws.
Yeah. Look at how tiny they are. They're tinier than a Pi.
Everything on the Pi is so cute.
Oh, and this
so
is
small.
just the cutest.
I know.
It's nice and snug. It feels real snug. There you go. Now, this header here is going to give you the fan. So we just plug that in. Make sure you put it in the right way. The pins are on the outside of the Raspberry Pi, and that enables the header on the top there and gives it power for the fan, as well as whatever other power is needed. Now, there's no designator here which way the fan is blowing. I know from experience that usually the sticker side is where it's going to be blowing out of, so I'm going to put that down so that we're drawing the heat out of the case. We're not going to be drawing air into it. We want to push the air out of it, and it just snaps in there. And then there are 3 screws that just hold the fan in place, so it's not going to fall out. This is some good TV right here, folks.
Riveting.
Look at that. Look at the way I turned the screw. And note the screwdriver was even included, so I didn't even have to buy or find a tiny enough screwdriver. It's included, so now you've got an extra screwdriver for...
That's actually very considerate.
Yeah, you know, until you end up with 300 of these screwdrivers, you're happy that they included it.
Yeah. Now you can also fix glasses. I feel like that's the same size.
Oh, I'm thinking that this is going to be the perfect size for changing motors in my drone.
Oh, that's perfect.
Mm-hmm. Nice, simple installation, folks. I think if you give yourself 10 minutes time, now we're not going to take that much time tonight because I have the power to accelerate the video a little bit, but 10 minutes time is all you need, and then you're going to be up and running with your RetroPie. So I'm not sure which way to put this cable onto the, this is the fan header. Not sure which way it goes, and there's no like one way. You could put it on either way. I don't see anything in the instructions about the fan either. It's only about the case and the installation of the Pi. So I could plug it in with the positive on the left. And you can always change the polarity, and that's going to change the direction of the fan. But actually, the red, I'm just looking, and there is a marking that says the positive is on the right. My right. So that should be the correct way to put that fan in there. Okay, so now the next step is just to close it up, and I'm making sure that the cable there is not going to, there's quite a bit of slack on that cable. I don't want it to obstruct the fan. I don't want it to get into the fan. I guess I could put a twist tie on that or something like that, but I think it looks like it's going to stay out of the way. It's not going to nudge its way over to the fan, so shouldn't be a problem. And that should just snap right together. There we go. Doesn't that look awesome?
It looks awesome.
My goodness. I can't wait to show this to my family because we grew up with that. Look at the SD card slot on the side, too. All right, so now we've got those 6 screws we've got to put in. This is where, this is way too much for you. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit.
Thank you.
What was your first retro gaming system, Sasha, growing up?
I played Atari games, and then I had, I think I skipped right to Super Nintendo.
Really?
To be honest.
So you went from Atari 2600 to a Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
I had an Atari 2600, and then when the NES came out, so the Atari 2600 was like out when I was born, and then I got the Nintendo Entertainment System when it came out. So there it is, folks. So this really is a throwback for me. I'm so proud and excited about this. Just this case, that's going to sit under our TV in full sight. It's got HDMI on the back. You'll notice that the header for the power has been offset using their built-in header, and it looks astonishing.
It is sharp.
It is so cool. The ultimate RetroPie case. And there it is. Are we ready to fire this up?
Yes, we are.
All right. It feels good. People are going to ask, like, is it flimsy and cheap? And
no, it feels like substantial. It feels real.
It's solid. It is solid. And you feel that button?
Yeah.
It's click, 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 click.
Yeah.
The reset button is momentary, so it's just like the original.
Everything about it.
And I guess, folks are wondering about the SD card slot over here. So there it is. I've already put in our RetroPie SD slot card, and it goes in and out nice and easy. It's not going to fall out. There you go. There we go. Okay, so let's fire it up, Sash.
All right, here we go.
Now, I can plug in power because, remember, it has a power button on the front. It's not going to turn on until I hit that button. I'm going to go HDMI output, so it supports HDMI, but it does have access to the AV port as well. Okay. So if you want, you can use one of these cables, right, and plug that in here. And then you've got RCA output for an old-style TV.
Right.
Or
if you're real retro.
If you want to go completely retro. Absolutely. Okay, and then I mentioned a little bit earlier that I'm using an Xbox controller, so I do need to use an Xbox receiver because it's not Bluetooth. If we wanted to, we could use Sony PlayStation 3 remotes, which are Bluetooth, and then I would not need a receiver, and I could play it just like that, so no extra wires coming out of the front. I think that would be cool, so I'm going to get myself some PlayStation controllers. But it does have 2 USB ports on the front too, and then another 2 under here. So, but you see the ones there?
Yeah.
You can plug those. You can get USB retro NES controllers that look exactly like the originals, but they're USB, and you can plug those in as well.
No way! That's
the next
awesome.
step. That's if you're completely obsessed with retro. Okay, so I'm going to plug in my receiver here, and I'm just going to push the power button. There it goes. And just so you know, she's a bootin'. And I can feel that there is wind coming out of the top of the RetroPie.
So you went in the right direction.
So I did go in the right direction and the correct polarity. There it is. And ladies and gentlemen, RetroPie is booting on our Raspberry Pi 3 Model B Plus in an NES Pi Case Plus case. I'm just going to leave this running all the time, connected to my TV. What?
It just reminds me so much. I just saw Ready Player One, the movie.
Yes.
And in the movie, I don't know if you've seen the movie yet.
No, I have not yet.
I feel like you should.
Okay.
But in it, the creator of the Oasis, which is the virtual reality alternate universe that everybody lives in and plays in, but the creator of it was very obsessed with retro games.
Oh, yeah?
So all of the little Easter eggs and everything in the
It's
all
nice.
retro. So
Sweet.
There you go.
You ready to jump in?
Yes.
Ready Player One?
Yeah.
Okay, so no gamepads detected. So on my Xbox controller, I just hold in the power button just like I was connecting to an Xbox, and it will. And then I press A, and there I am. I'm in. So welcome to version 4.4 of RetroPie. So we've got Atari 2600, Atari 7800, Lynx, Mega Drive, which is now I'm. Why do they name them differently? What do we call it? The Genesis.
Genesis
here in the Western world. That's the one that we had a Genesis growing up as well. Nintendo 64. Nintendo Entertainment System. I feel honor bound, being that we are running in an NES kit, to click on the NES.
I support this decision.
Do you now?
I do.
I played NES with my grandma. And you'll see how it says unknown at the right? That's because this is a fresh install, and I have not synced all the artwork yet. Now, it will go out onto the internet and get all the graphics, the covers, the reviews, the description of every game, but we have not yet done that. You can do that. Should we skip down to Super Mario Bros?
I believe so, yes.
All right.
Oh, and the chat room seems to agree. Super Mario, says Solbu.
Yeah, okay. I'll get there.
Amazing.
Okay. Oh, what did I do? I clicked right. Sorry, I jumped into PlayStation. Nintendo Entertainment System. Super Mario Bros. Okay. Now, you'll notice it says 2 twice, because I think I selected the wrong artwork.
Oh.
One of these is Super Mario Bros. 1, and one of them is Super Mario Bros. 2. Do you think the first one is right? Let's try it.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't press anything here, folks. Oh, I got it. Okay, and it's widescreen.
It is so cool.
Oh my goodness. Now I don't think I have audio piping out from the RetroPie right now, but there you have it.
You see my phone ring, the
yeah?
Mario Brothers, yeah.
So I am literally right now playing Super Mario Bros. On an Xbox controller on a mini NES over here.
Don't die.
Ah.
Okay.
Oh. Now, if I press start and select at the same time, that gets me back to the main menu.
Right.
Okay. So now I can go back with B, and now I can scroll over to other systems and see what I want to do. So we had talked about the Nintendo 64 being poor performance on RetroPie in the past.
Right, yeah, like mine.
Mario Kart was
not worth it.
Couldn't do it. And I think Mario Kart is probably a really good test.
I'd agree.
Everybody wants to play Mario Kart every day.
All the time.
So let's go there.
It's fine.
Now, just for the record, RetroPie is an operating system for your retro gaming system, Raspberry Pi. It does not come with any games, okay? So the games, you have to find them. You might find abandonware, which is, software that's so old that presumably it's
free.
Yeah, they don't sell it anymore.
Yeah.
Companies are starting to do this where they're bringing back out retro games so that they can rebirth the copyrights on those games.
Oh.
And so it's a little bit, but
do it now. Do it now.
So just keep that in mind. So you are not going to see all these games on there out of the box. It's going to be empty. You'll need to get those yourself. Where am I headed? Mario Kart.
Yes.
Oh, I need to go up.
Yeah.
I'm going the wrong way here. I skipped over it while I was talking. Okay, Mario. Okay, Mario Golf. Mario Kart 64. Okay, so this is literally a moment of truth. We've tried running this before, and it was so stuttery that you could not play it.
Right.
Okay.
Let's see how smooth you are.
Let's see how smooth we are. Again, we don't push anything during this because that's going to customize your controls, which I don't want to do. I want to leave everything as defaults.
I've done that.
Have you? Accidentally? And then got stuck and had to restart or something?
I don't even understand. Yeah.
Okay, that screen did not fly like that on the
It looks so good.
Oh. And like I'm pushing the start button on my controller. I wish I had a second game controller here for you, Sasha, but what I'll do is I'll start the game and let you drive.
I feel like that's a bad idea. Have you seen me drive? This doesn't end well ever. Okay, you start.
Okay, I'll start.
And then I'll
I'm going to go 150 cc.
Okay. Here we go.
Luigi. Do we want Mushroom Cup, Flower Cup, Star Cup, or Special Cup?
Special Cup.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh. And I think I could have actually chosen a track underneath. It's been a long time, Sasha.
Okay, let's see.
The performance so far is out of this world. Like, I'm hard-pressed to think I'm not playing on a Nintendo 64. Let's see how it performs in-game. Oh,
it's not laggy at all.
No way.
Oh,
okay,
you drive
so
like me.
Robbie sucks, but...
I'd say this actually plays as well as my Switch. I have this on Switch.
Do you?
Yeah.
And this plays as well as your
I think so.
$300, $400 Switch? It just rumbled. My pack just rumbled.
It has haptic feedback.
No way.
That's cool.
Sorry, I got a little excited there. I did not realize it even had that. How do I get out of here? Oh no, I'm stuck forever. I got excited and I crashed into a wall.
Uh-oh.
Come on, Robbie.
You're in 8th place,
Luigi,
Robbie.
come on, man. How do I back up? Is there a reverse?
You can reverse the camera. Yeah.
Oh, come on. No, it can't go down like that.
Well, we can edit
It's
this
rumbling.
part out.
We'll speed it up for you. Yeah, the performance is great. Look at me just smashing into that wall.
Yeah.
I'm serious. How do I back up, Sasha? Oh, thank you.
Did you? Okay.
I pressed Y.
Okay.
Remember, I'm on an Xbox controller, and I'm terrible. But look at that performance, folks.
I love this.
That is exquisite. I'm going to jump to a larger screen for you folks at home. Here, Sasha. I'm going to give that to you.
I don't know that that's the best choice. Okay.
Okay. I found B.
One?
B is to make it go.
Okay.
And controller is your left analog stick.
Okay. Okay. Remember, everyone, I ride a bike. I don't drive a car.
150cc little Mario Kart. Okay. So far, I haven't seen any lag. Chat room, what do you think so far? Oh. Yeah, we got Paperboy. Come on, all the classics.
Oh, I'm in the wrong...
You're going the wrong way, Sasha.
Okay. It's because... Okay. I still am going the wrong way? I thought I did reverse. What's happening? Okay. I know we have to go to the newsroom soon, but I would rather just play this game.
This could be the show, folks.
There we go. Oh.
See, it's not all me.
Spot.
I'm not... It's difficult. It's challenging because we haven't played in so long. Folks, head on over to cat5.tv/pi. Get your gear and then hook yourself up with RetroPie 4.4. And I am flabbergasted. Anytime we do a feature like this on the show, it's like, how is it going to perform? Is this going to be impressive, or is it going to be disappointing, or is it going to crash?
What's the opposite of a flop? This is the opposite.
This is like the ultimate awesomeness.
This is amazing. Like, this is going to be the best gift you buy whomever you love.
Sasha, my kids are going to adore this.
See?
And this sitting on under the TV, like when I have family over and we all grew up with the Nintendo Entertainment System, that's amazing. And it's not overly expensive either. I mean, so cost, Raspberry Pi kit, all the peripherals, SD card, power, cable, the board itself, the heat sinks, you're looking about $100 Canadian, $79 US kind of idea. And in this case, it's like $25 Canadian, so that's like $4 US.
It
works
25 cents.
Yeah, so it's not a huge investment, but as you can see, we can load it up chock full of games, and it is still a Raspberry Pi. So keep that in mind, because you can install other things on it. You can use it as a full computer. If you just want the retro look and you want to use a wireless keyboard and mouse and turn it into your home theater PC or use it as a computer, you can do that.
That would just throw everybody off. That'd be weird.
Absolutely would be awesome. That is the RetroPie gaming system, version 4.4 from cat5.tv/pi.